We are getting closer by the day to June 2026 when Vancouver will host 7 FIFA World Cup games. Soccer, or football, fans in the city have likely seen the tournament's iconic winner's trophy hoisted on their television screens, and if they're lucky, from far away in stadium seats. Tomorrow, people will have the opportunity to see the actual FIFA World Cup trophy up close. It will be displayed at the Italian Cultural Center in East Vancouver for public viewing. And for more, here is Victor Montagliani, FIFA's Vice President and CONCACAF President. Hello, Victor. Thanks for coming in.
Well, thank you for having me. It's a real pleasure.
So what do people need to know about this public viewing tomorrow?
Well, we already had it was more of an opportunity to line up and get a photo at Jackpool Plaza on Saturday. Mm-hmm. Tomorrow, the trophy has a lot of appointments, so we were able to squeeze in a viewing. Unfortunately, it won't be like the one at Jackpool Plaza where you can line up, but it's a viewing of the most iconic trophy. We thought it would be iconic, not only have an iconic trophy, but a bit of an iconic neighborhood in East Vancouver and the Italian Cultural Center, where the game means a lot, obviously, to that community. So it's a short window of an opportunity to see the World Cup trophy.
And, we were discussing earlier, we're both, from East Vancouver. Yeah. You grew up there. What does it mean to you, I guess, on that personal level, for the trophy to be displayed in the neighborhood and in the Italian Cultural Center?
Yeah, I mean, growing up, the game was always, growing up in a community where a very multi-ethnic community, obviously being an Italian background, the game was more important than hockey, quite honestly, for most of us growing up, even though obviously we love our hockey teams. But so to have now the most iconic trophy in the world, part of the biggest sport in the world and the biggest sporting event in the history of the world coming to our city, to have it in a neighborhood where a lot of, kids have kicked the ball and dreamt the big dreams, is pretty special.
It is. And I think about, my children growing up playing soccer, and it's huge. And it's huge around the world. And it means so much to so many people. The first FIFA 2026 match is set for June 13th. So that's less than a year away.
Yes.
How do you feel the preparations are going in the city?
Actually, I think they're going very well. I think both the city of Vancouver, PAFCO, who obviously manages the stadium, both entities are working really well with our FIFA Canada team. People, it's difficult to appreciate what goes on in putting on an event like this. Because you want to buy your ticket, you go to the game, and then you go home.
Yeah.
But there's so many
incredible.
There's so many moving pieces, whether it's transportation, accommodation, security, that goes in, and planning that goes in, so that the games are done in the right way, and then we let the actors, known as soccer players, do their thing and hopefully bring some drama and excitement to the people.
I have a feeling they'll be able to bring that.
Yes, I think so.
Obviously, so many people are very excited for Vancouver to host the tournament, but there are some people that maybe are on the fence or maybe not so excited. Some economists have doubted the, economic benefits of hosting. One argument saying, any tourism that FIFA draws is just displacing other visitors that don't want to be around the crowd, say. What is your argument for why hosting FIFA is worth it for Vancouver?
Yeah, listen, I'm not an economist. I'm a football person. I can tell you that this is not my first rodeo or the first FIFA event that's come. And I heard the exact same arguments I heard about the FIFA Women's World Cup, quite frankly, in 2015. And history has shown the legacy of that tournament and the impact that it had here. And with all due respect, there's no real displacement because of people that we think would have come here, because the amount of people that are wanting to come here, likely a lot of them might not have come to Vancouver if it wasn't for the tournament or the game. So, listen, I'll leave the economists to argue about economic impact. I think what our history has shown is that when we bring the World Cup to a country, that it is a massive boom. and actually having the moniker of being a World Cup country or World Cup city is the biggest branding element that you can get. And so I have seen and felt the impact of a World Cup on the country and on the city. And so I'll let the facts speak for themselves. And maybe you can, when people start piling out of the stadiums after the first game, maybe we'll interview them.
What opportunities, will there be for FIFA as an organization to, maybe give back to the host cities? I know there's a lot of fears with the beautification plan that, homeless people might be displaced or the businesses being impacted in the controlled zone around BC Place Stadium. How does that balance work where FIFA gives back and maybe even improves some things?
Yeah, I mean, listen, part of it is not just about giving back, but it's working with the partners, whether it's be the city or the province in this case, in terms of ensuring that we have certain things to protect. We have brands, we have certain standards that we need when we put on a tournament, no different than anybody else that puts on an event. And we have a fiduciary duty to our members as well to ensure that our event goes off well, and obviously it has to make money because that's how we underwrite football in the rest of the world. But we also have to balance the realities of the needs of a city or a province in this case as well. And we're working with both the city and the province to ensure minimal impact on these things, and also working with both of them. Although they need to be the drivers of it, on the legacy piece of this. We're also, I know that there's been involvement with the Indigenous nations in those discussions. And so I think that's important as well for us to not just facilitate, but help out in any way we can so that all the major stakeholders involved feel heard, and we can address any issues that we need to address.
One thing I am curious about, because we are not the only host city.
Correct.
So does that sort of impact the benefits that we'll be able to get, or the amount of money that we need to spend?
No, because it is spread out. There's 16 venues, 2 in Canada, 11 in the U.S. and 3 in Mexico. And no, each venue is, when it comes to those kind of issues, because not every city has the same issues. And I've done many interviews of this kind, and in a lot of cities, they don't have these concerns. Some do, some don't. So everybody's a little different, and what the questions are. And so we have to deal with that at a local level more than anything else.
Okay. And for those that are skeptical, what's your argument?
Listen, you can't make everybody happy, and I understand that. And that's the reality of it. But seeing the response to our volunteer program, where Toronto's number 1 and Vancouver's number 2 out of 16, and that almost a third or more of the people that signed up to be volunteers for all 3 countries are Canadian. I think those numbers speak for themselves, what the people on the street think about this event.
There are a lot of people very excited for next year. It was so nice to speak with you, Victor. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you. Anytime.
Yeah, and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay. And that was Victor Montagliani explaining how people can view the FIFA trophy on Tuesday. And tomorrow morning, the FIFA World Cup Winners' Trophy is coming to the Italian Cultural Center in East Vancouver. It will be on display from 9 until 11 a.m. and the admission's free.